Welcome to this video on research, knowledge, and inquiry designed for MED, student teachers. This session covers Unit 1, focusing on the essential foundations for the teacher researcher. A paradigm, as described by Thomas Kuhn, is a basic set of beliefs that guides a research community's practice. It is a worldview that determines your assumptions about reality, knowledge, and investigation, effectively shaping which methods make sense for your research. Research is built on three foundational pillars: ontology, which questions the nature of reality; epistemology, which explores the nature of knowledge; and methodology, which determines the appropriate procedures for gaining that knowledge. There are four major research paradigms: positivism, post-positivism, social constructivism, and pragmatism. Each offers a different lens for understanding the world and conducting research. Positivism posits that a single, objective, measurable reality exists independently of the observer. It favors a nomothetic approach, relying on quantitative data, statistical analysis, and hypothesis testing to seek universal laws. In educational research, positivism often underpins standardized testing movements and large-scale surveys. It drives experimental studies, such as randomized control trials, by assuming that findings can be generalized across different classrooms and schools. Post-positivism serves as a refinement of positivism. It acknowledges that absolute objectivity is unattainable and that human knowledge is inherently conjectural. It emphasizes falsifiability and encourages multiple methods to strengthen validity. Post-positivism in education supports the use of control groups and cautious, probabilistic claims. It is frequently seen in mixed quasi-experimental evaluations, where quantitative results are triangulated with qualitative evidence. Social constructivism, or interpretivism, argues that individuals co-construct meaning through their social and cultural world. There is no single objective truth, only multiple context-bound interpretations. When applied to education, social constructivism is well suited for studying classroom culture and student identity. It favors naturalistic qualitative approaches like in-depth interviews and narrative inquiry, prioritizing depth over breadth. Pragmatism rejects the binary choice between objectivism and constructivism. Instead, it focuses on the practical usefulness of knowledge to solve real-world problems and serves as the primary philosophy for mixed methods research. For educators, pragmatism is ideal for action research. It prioritizes finding workable answers to immediate school-based problems, rather than adhering to ideological purity, making it a popular choice for MED. Dissertation. This table summarizes the dimensions of each paradigm, contrasting how they view reality, knowledge, and methodology across positivism, post-positivism, social constructivism, and pragmatism. Looking at the implications for educational research, you can see how these paradigms translate into specific practices, from large-scale standardized testing to contextualized naturalistic inquiry. When choosing your research paradigm, remember the golden rule: let the nature of your research question guide your choice. Never force-fit a question into a pre-selected method. Choose the approach that best helps you answer your specific inquiry. Let's apply our understanding with a case study. A researcher wants to understand why some rural teachers resist digital tools. She embeds herself in 2 schools for 6 weeks, using interviews and observations. Next, we explore our 5th part of Unit 1, philosophical, psychological, and sociological orientations. These 3 disciplinary lenses provide different perspectives on the same classroom environment. Education is a deeply complex human activity. To fully understand it, we must look beyond a single lens. Philosophy, psychology, and sociology each offer unique questions, concepts, and methods for investigation. The philosophical orientation focuses on foundational questions that underpin all educational research. It asks metaphysical questions about reality, epistemological questions about valid knowledge, and axiological questions about the aims and values of education. Various philosophical schools like idealism, realism, and existentialism shape our research questions. These methods are typically non-empirical and argument-based, evaluating ideas through logic rather than data. Our second lens is the psychological orientation, which focuses directly on the individual learner. It examines cognition, emotion, motivation, and personality to understand how students think and learn. Key psychological theories include behaviorism, cognitivism, constructivism, and humanism. Research here often utilizes experiments, testing, or clinical studies to analyze individual learning processes and development. The third lens is the sociological orientation, viewing education as a social institution. It explores how structures like class, gender, and culture within the school system reflect and reproduce societal patterns. Sociological research draws on theories like social capital and reproduction. Methods commonly include ethnography, large-scale surveys, and participant observation to examine the broader social context of schooling. While each orientation is distinct, they are all vital for a complete picture. Comparing these three lenses highlights how each approach contributes differently to our understanding of the educational landscape. Integration is key. For example, investigating why students drop out requires philosophical clarity, psychological insight into motivation, and sociological attention to the student's community and environment. For our final reflection, consider the problem of low motivation in mathematics. Apply these three lenses, philosophical, psychological, and sociological, to develop a comprehensive, 2-minute explanation of the issue.